Okay, so the goal for this week is that you are going to be making 1 inch squares, and then you're going to be putting those squares in perspective. So as we may or may not know, perspective is our ability to make something appear to be 3D. So we're going to take a two-dimensional object, such as a square, but we're going to make it appear to be 3D. Okay, we're going to make it look like it's a cube. By doing that, we're going to make these things that look like they pop out of the paper. Okay, so you have your white paper, you have your ruler, and again, make sure when you're using your ruler, you always can read the numbers. Okay, and we're going to be using the inch side. Those are the bigger increments of measurement. The inch side, and it doesn't really matter what inch we're going to use, but we are going to start by putting a vanishing point on your paper. Anywhere on your paper you can make a point, and then if you want you could make a horizon line as well, which is going to be the line that separates the sky from the earth, but we don't need to do that right now. Right now you're going to focus on making 1 inch squares, and I'm going to do that by holding the page as straight as I can and my ruler as straight parallel to that page, and I'm going to anchor my ruler down. And sometimes it helps if you just turn your paper so that your hand is nice and comfortable and you can really anchor that ruler down. Okay, I'm going to make 1 inch line. So I'm going to start at this 1 and I'm going to go to the 2. So I'm going to start the line of 1, go to 2. I'm going to come here in the middle and I'm going to start at 5 and I'm going to go to 6 and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start at 8 and go to 9. Doesn't really matter where you make these marks. Now I'm going to turn my page, and again, it doesn't matter if I'm going between 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. What matters is that I'm anchoring my ruler down and I'm using that 1 inch bit of measurement to make these 1 inch. Okay, and now I'm making the sides for those 3 squares that I'm starting to construct. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make the sides for this square. Okay, so right now each of my 3 squares have 3 sides. And now I'm going to turn the paper again and I'm going to make the tops for that squares. And again, we're just going to want them to be as straight as possible. And if you feel like it's really crooked, you may want to just check the side of the paper, and you may need to erase a little bit or to make it a little bit longer depending on how your squares look. But again, these are just practice, so we're just going to roughly get them in there. Now, once I have 3 squares on my paper, the next step, the first step again in perspective, step 1 was to make the shape, right? So step 1 was to make the shape. In this case, our shape is a square. Step 2 is we're going to go from the corners to, and I'll call it the VP, the vanishing point. We're going to go to the vanishing point. So the trick to this step is do not intersect with your original shape. So I'm going to go from the corner of my square, and I'll start with the corner that's closest to my vanishing point. I'm going to line my pencil up on that corner. I'm going to line my ruler up with the pencil point and with the vanishing point, and I'm just going to draw a straight line. Then I'm going to come to my other corner, and I'm going to do the same thing. Corner, pencil, then ruler to the vanishing point, and draw another line. Remember, I never want to intersect with my shape. So if I were to go on this corner, I would be going straight through my shape. I don't want to do that. So I won't do that far corner, but I'll come here, and that one doesn't intersect with my shape, so I'm going to then draw the straight line. Okay, after I'm done with that, I am then going to do the third step. So now I have this elongated shape that looks like it's going back in space. I'll show it to you guys. It's starting to look like, wow, there's this long rectangle almost. And then the third step to perspective is that step that we like to call side and slide. Side and slide, not side and slide. And what it means is I'm going to get on the side of my square and I'm going to slide it out. So I'm going to get on the side of my square. Again, I want my ruler nice and comfortable in my hand, and I'm going to slide out my ruler, keeping it parallel to that side. So again, get on the side of the square that you drew, slide it out, keeping it parallel, and you're giving yourself enough room to create the side of that cube that we're going to make now. Okay, remember, again, parallel means that they are the same distance apart. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around again. I'm going to get on the other side of my square, and I'm going to slide it out. And again, I don't want it crooked. That wouldn't look like a cube. That wouldn't look like a cube. I want to keep it nice and parallel. And I'm going to get to that corner right there. That's going to be the new corner of the back of my cube. And I'm going to then just close it out by making the side there. Okay, and now you have a shape that looks like a cube. Okay, let's do that one more time, and I'm going to do it with this side over here. Corners to the vanishing point, corners to the vanishing point, corners to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to do my side and slide. Get on the side of the square, slide it out, keeping it parallel, close it off. Turn it again so that my ruler is nice and comfortable. Get on the side of my square, keeping it parallel. Get to the corner right there, the new corner, and close it off, okay? Now, the last one I'm going to do here in the middle is a little bit different because if I go to this corner and go to the vanishing point, I need it. If I go to this corner, do I need it? No, right? That one would intersect with my square. If I go to this corner, do I need it? No, that would intersect with my square. But I go to this bottom one, do I need it? Yes, I do. So the thing about this middle one is I only see one side of it. And the reason for that is it's just like if you were to see this box in reality or this cube in reality. If I were to hold this cube in front of you, the cube on this side, you would only see the right side of the cube. The cube on this side, you would only see the left side of the cube. And the cube in the middle, you would see only the bottom of it. You wouldn't see the sides of it because it's be right in your line of view. The cool thing about this is all of these cubes right now, they look like they are floating. They are on top of the horizon line or the vanishing point, and therefore they look like they are floating in space, or what I like to call in worm's eye view, like you're a worm looking up. But if you were to take those same cubes and draw them on the bottom of your paper, now they look like they are in bird's eye view. So it's like you're looking down at them, like a bird looking down at the ground. So that's the kind of cool thing about perspective. And I want you this week to just be practicing making these 1-inch cubes, and your goal will be to have 6 1-inch cubes, 3 in bird's eye view and 3 in worm's eye view. Really nicely done. And then if you want, at the end, you can erase these vanishing lines so it just looks like your cubes are there. Okay? All right, great. Have fun and get it done.